Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Caroline at Create Your Future. Welcome to our channel. It is officially summer season, and that's my favorite season. So, for all of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, happy summer. Enjoy. Um, Before we start, I would like to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm a coach here at Create Your Future. I'm available for one-on-one coaching. You have all the description in the box below. I am also a certified hypnotherapist as well as a law of attraction life coach certified. I am an EFT, TFT practitioner, and I also have a certification in NLP. All right, so today I would like to talk about, as we talk about mostly in our channel, but not only, and I will do a video on something that's not SP related, but today we're going to talk about SP. So SP, specific person, someone you have in mind, someone you want to manifest. It doesn't have to be romantic, of course. It can be a parent, a sibling that you haven't had a good relationship with that you want to improve, or someone you have no contact with and you want to bring back into your life. It could be anyone, any person, right? Mostly what we talk about here, an SP, specific person, is somebody that you would like to be romantically involved with, and in many cases be married to. Okay, so I have some success story and I would like to share with you, and then we're gonna talk about a little bit how this happened for my client. Okay, so first email that I received, which is not on this page, I don't know, I printed the wrong one or I picked up the wrong one. Okay, so this email was from one of my client that she is a regular of mine. We talk about once or twice a month. And she has been struggling with this SP for many years, many years. They started with somewhat of a relationship, but it was mostly friends with benefits and on very rare occasion, I have to add. And then they have been, of course, in contact on and off, but the relationship has been non-existent. The type of relationship that she wants. And she was accepting crumbs. And that's one thing that you need to really be aware of, because sometimes we love somebody so much and this person is really not in our lives, and suddenly we get a lousy message, or maybe SP is asking for money or asking for help, and you're so excited that finally you have contact or communication from SP that you want to, you want to call this a success. You want to call this a success, and you're all excited because there's been a teeny bit of communication. Well, this is accepting crumbs. This is lowering yourself and putting yourself in a very tiny, minimum position. And I want you to remember that this life, this is your story. You are the star of your story. You are the star in this, movie that we call life. And you get to choose your role. And it is really about making that decision. What role am I playing? So when you accept crumbs, do you have this teeny not so good role where your worth is so little and non-existent that you're going to be content because SP decided after months of no contact to call you because they need help or they need money, and you're going to run because this is maybe a glimpse of hope? So first of all, I like to play with words, and there are certain words that I do not want to keep in my vocabulary. You do whatever you want. My tip is words like hope have no business being part of our reality. Why should we have hope? We don't need hope. Since we are the creators, since we do write the story, we don't need to hope. We just need to declare. We need to say, this is how it's going to be. This is who I am. Okay? So I am not this person with no value that does not deserve a beautiful relationship like I want to have. I am the person who is the center of my universe and the love of my SP's life. I am the love of my SP. My specific person is crazy, insanely, madly in love with me, and I am everything to them. And that's why we are in a relationship. And my SP tells me every day that we are the best couple ever, that he could not or she could not think to be with anybody else but me, right? This is the role you want to embody. This is the role you have to decide and choose to have. So we need to really start from this point of deciding who we are, all right? So my client here was not happy with getting breadcrumbs, but when she was getting them, it was better than nothing. Better than nothing. You hear this? Better than nothing? No. No, 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 no. We don't need better than nothing. We don't need to settle for little. We don't need to settle for once in a while. You, my friends, you deserve to have the most beautiful, fulfilling relationship. But it starts with you. It starts with you making the decision that you are the person who lives this type of life, who receives everything, right? So we've been working on this, and there was a lot of moments of sessions of crying. My client would call me after, 3 days of nonstop crying, feeling so alone and rejected. So if you feel that way, it's fine, you let the tears out, but you don't dwell on it. You don't extend it. Because feelings, emotions, they stem from thoughts, the thoughts you focus on, right? So if you focus too long on thoughts that make you sad, you really perpetuate that story of rejection and not being in the relationship that you want. All right? So with her, we discussed really in depth how she was feeling and why she was feeling so rejected. And to be honest, it took us back to her childhood, how she was brought up and raised. And maybe part of it was how she was raised, and part of it was how she felt being raised. Because if you speak with your parents, you may realize that often their version of what happened and your version, your interpretation, the way you went through your childhood or certain moments is extremely different. So your parents may have meant very well or did their best, but if at one point you felt ignored or rejected or not valued, then maybe you kind of drew on that emotion moving forward and feeling maybe that you were not the favorite sibling or just not wanted by your parents or being a burden to your parents, whatever it could be. But we could retrace a lot of things from childhood emotions or early on, or even maybe emotions that you've had with a previous specific person in another relationship where you got really hurt and traumatized. So in sessions, it's nice that we take the time to sometimes go back. We don't have to go back, okay? We can just affirm, change our thoughts, and move forward. However, when I'm working with clients, over a period of a few months, we like to go a little deeper, because otherwise, if we don't uncover those problems, those old beliefs, their manifestation would have already materialized. It would have already be here. The relationship would already be here, right? So you realize that when you want something but you have no attachment to it, you affirm and boom, there it is, the same day. Or you go to bed, you say something, and the next morning you get an email or a text, or you encounter somebody and you get your manifestation instantly. But for situations such as very often a specific person where you feel so rejected and so sad, and in her case for many years she has felt that she was not desired by this SP, that SP would only contact her for pretty much to use her financially or other ways, but not in a satisfying way, not in a way where she said, oh, this is a satisfying relationship, that's the type of quality, good quality, high quality relationship that I want. So because she had been dwelling on this so much, we went deeper and we uncovered some of those emotions stemming from childhood and then repeating itself throughout life, her life, in all kind of different areas. So it took a little bit more of work, which is okay. But it was, in her case, extremely fruitful, very necessary. So that was a little way back, a couple of weeks ago. She sent in an email to our office, and you're always welcome to, if you don't want to comment on the videos underneath, you can always send emails to our office, and they get forwarded to us coaches, and we can address either your concerns or just happily read your success story, which, by the way, we never read unless we have your consent. All right, so she says, please report to Caroline that my specific person just sent me a sweet reel on Instagram. This is big coming from him, and she put a lot of hearts. So, and she goes, and I'm also getting a camera for my laptop, so my next session I can show Caroline. Or she can show herself to me. So you see, we were really coming from breadcrumbs of breadcrumbs at that point. So finally, SP was sending her a sweet reel on Instagram, just for no reason. So step one, she had progressed to the fact that she has some worth. She's, some value, and that he could actually reach out to her and send something sweet and loving, even though it was not an actual direct message, or he didn't pick up the phone, but it was a step towards her goal. And in this case, finally, he reached out without needing her for something, without using her. So it was a success. And that's a light stepping stone, but it is a stepping stone. And it is very important to acknowledge and recognize and be grateful for those stepping stones. This is something else. Every time I make a video from my home in Miami, we hear the sirens, we hear the helicopters, we hear the thunder. It's so loud. I live downtown, the city, and you hear it on my videos, all that noise. And now I'm here on the other side of the planet, and my house, where I go to every summer, and it's very calm. There's no sound. And I was thinking about that right before I started the video, and sure enough, here comes a helicopter. I never hear helicopters. I manifested it with my thought right before the video. But it is usually, you can hear, it's very tranquil, very calm. And there's a whole little city down there, but it's very quiet, it's very peaceful. Anyhow, so she got a stepping stone towards her goal. recognize this, because then with the gratefulness of getting where, towards your goal, you send out this energy of, okay, it's working out. Yes, I have this relationship. This whole SP relationship story is unfolding right now, and it's starting with, not with a marriage proposal. Well, we could, but most of the time, it doesn't go from ignoring to marriage proposal. There are some steps in between. So be grateful for those steps. Don't complain, well, it was just a stupid reel on Instagram. It could have at least picked up the phone and sent me a real message. No, it is a step. So be grateful. Avoid complaining. I always tell you how complaining is such powerful. It's such a strong, strong energy, because when you complain, you put so much energy into it that it's a huge affirmation, like a huge one. And then you get more of it, more of your complaints. So that's exactly not where we want to go. So we don't complain that it's not exactly the type of communication that you want, but it's a step. You be grateful. So you switch from being from complaining to a state of gratefulness. Just acknowledge it. So this is amazing. I'm doing well. I'm shifting my focus. I'm shifting my mind. I'm going to the right direction. All right. So that was a few weeks ago, and I was already happy about this. And we talked some more. She had some, more progress where they started to talk more and more. He was listening to her. So now she sent 3 days ago another text. Okay, here we go. She sent another email to the office, and that's what she says. She says, I texted SP asking him if I could call to speak out my money and prosperity affirmation out loud, which is cool. That's another thing she's working on, and it's working pretty well, really well for her. In terms of money, things have been moving really well in the right direction. Anyways, she goes on, he called me. We talked for over an hour. Our call disconnected. He called me back. The red are his missed calls. Okay, and then she sent me a screenshot of all the calls, and there's like four or five calls between the call that they actually had and all the missed calls. The guy would never call her again unless he needed a favor. So this is good. And then yesterday, got one more where she said, I spent the night at SP's last night. He was very loving and affectionate and attentive to my needs. So happy and feeling so powerful. Okay, this, my friends, this is so huge, so huge. I've been working with her for several months, and this SP story has been going on, and I'm not joking, for years of rejection with that same particular SP. And we have been doing a lot of digging into the past, uncovering old feelings, doing rampages, practicing together in session. And now the guy is coming in, asking her to spend quality time together, inviting her over. And that's another thing. And I'll make another video about this. In the past, she had a fear of going over. She wanted to, but there was a fear. And of course, because of that fear, there was no invitation. Well, now there's not only an invitation, she spent the night. So the relationship is moving forward, again, steps towards marriage. And so, yes, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy for her. I'm happy for you, darling, if you are listening to this video. And anyways, again, you guys, you can do it. You can do it by aligning your thoughts, your story of who you are with what you want, and appreciating every steps along the way. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful. I wish you a wonderful week. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, share our videos with your friends, family, and don't forget to put a thumb up if you liked it, and leave me comments. I will address your comments in the videos. Have a great week. Bye.